Semana de la Ingeniería Nacional e Internacional Virtual 2020. Nikola Tesla.
Señoras, señores, bienvenidos al acto de apertura de la Semana Nacional e Internacional de la Ingeniería organizada por la Facultad Regional Tucumán de la Universidad Tecnológica Nacional. El objetivo de este acontecimiento es que sea propicio para la actualización de los conocimientos científicos y tecnológicos, como así también un momento especial para compartir las producciones culturales de nuestro Tucumán. Para esta semana tan particular tendremos invitados internacionales de México, Estados Unidos, Irlanda, Francia y las propuestas de las embajadas de Serbia, Holanda y Suecia, que nos traen sugerentes propuestas en torno al desarrollo de las energías sustentables. La Semana de la Ingeniería es un evento en el que confluyen actividades académicas y culturales que giran en torno a la ingeniería y su importancia para el desarrollo de nuestra sociedad. Es de destacar que esta 13ª edición de la Semana de la Ingeniería nos encuentra situados en un momento especial de la humanidad que nos ha puesto el desafío de detenernos a reflexionar y accionar todas las herramientas de las que disponemos como institución especializada en tecnología y darle el mayor provecho a nivel educativo e investigativo. Es por ello que hemos puesto el acento en actividades que den cuenta de la utilidad de las plataformas virtuales y las TIC, como así también conferencias que nos brindarán mayor claridad al crítico momento sanitario que atravesamos y que es necesario hacerlo, tomando conciencia de las responsabilidades y conocimientos que debemos tener para afrontar esta pandemia. Nuestra intención como Casa de Altos Estudios es establecer diálogos de reciprocidad con otras universidades del mundo para integrar nuestras propuestas con otras latitudes, actualizar nuestros conocimientos, integrarnos a las tendencias en materia de investigación y aplicación tecnológica mundial. Este avance que hemos logrado en uno de nuestros eventos más destacados como institución se debe a la tarea llevada a cabo por el trabajo constante de todas las áreas administrativas y académicas de la Facultad Regional Tucumán, que año a año ha elevado su apuesta para el desarrollo de este acontecimiento. Señoras, señores, como es tradición, para dar comienzo a la 13ª Semana Nacional e Internacional de la Ingeniería, entonaremos las estrofas del himno nacional argentino.
responden al gran pueblo argentino, salud. Al gran pueblo argentino, salud. Y los libres del mundo responden al gran pueblo argentino, salud. Y los libres del mundo responden al gran pueblo argentino, salud. Sean eternos los laureles que supimos conseguir, que supimos conseguir. Coronados de gloria, vivamos. Oh, juremos con gloria morir, oh, juremos con gloria morir, oh, juremos con gloria morir.
A continuación, invitamos a hacer uso de la palabra al señor rector de la Universidad Tecnológica Nacional. Habla el ingeniero Héctor Ayaza.
Buenas noches a todos y a todas. En primer lugar, quiero agradecer muy especialmente al señor decano de la Facultad Regional Tucumán de la Universidad Tecnológica Nacional por la deferencia de haberme invitado a participar de esta Semana de la Ingeniería en este acto inaugural y que están dadas en condiciones muy particulares. Quiero agradecer muy especialmente a las autoridades que están acompañando de distintas latitudes a los señores expositores quienes se van a explayar en el desarrollo de esta Semana de la Ingeniería, y no podemos ocultar que ocurre en condiciones muy particulares. Esta pandemia que azota a todo el planeta nos tiene hoy con un gran desafío, pero seamos optimistas. Como buenos ingenieros decimos, este es un desafío que estamos luchando preservando la salud, pero también pensemos como ingenieros que se viene la pospandemia, y la pospandemia no es otra cosa que poner de pie a todo el sistema productivo. Y como todos sabemos, el sistema productivo se pone de pie teniendo como fuerza motriz a esa noble profesión que se llama ingeniería. Y en nuestro país, la Universidad de la Ingeniería se llama Universidad Tecnológica Nacional. Así que, señor decano, a toda la comunidad tecnológica de Tucumán, felicitaciones y el mejor de los éxitos en las actividades de toda esta semana. Muchas gracias.
Se ha escuchado desde la sede central de la Universidad Tecnológica Nacional al señor rector, ingeniero Héctor Ayaza. Seguidamente hará uso de la palabra el señor decano de la Universidad Tecnológica Nacional, Facultad Regional Tucumán. Habla el magíster ingeniero Walter Fabián Soria.
Señora embajadora de Serbia, señor rector de la Universidad Tecnológica Nacional, señores miembros del Consejo Superior, señores decanos, señores invitados especiales, estudiantes, graduados, docentes, no docentes. Muy buenas tardes. La verdad que me siento profundamente emocionado en este día y en este contexto de continuar con este desafío que venimos realizando hace 12 años, y esta es la 13ª edición de la Semana de la Ingeniería, en donde ponemos y exponemos lo mejor que tiene la Universidad Tecnológica, lo mejor que tiene nuestra facultad, a disposición, ya no como lo dijo la legislatura en Tucumán, ya no es una semana de la tecnológica, es una semana que se vino a instalar en la provincia, en el NOA, y que tienen la oportunidad todos los estudiantes, docentes, graduados y no docentes, y la comunidad en general, de poder tener disertantes de alto vuelo, no tan solo internacional, nacional, sino también locales. Y en esta ocasión hemos decidido llevar adelante este gran desafío, utilizando y haciendo punta en nuestra universidad con esta modalidad, con esta herramienta que tenemos a disposición, que nos permite tener hasta 10.000 asistentes por cada una de las conferencias. Y gratamente hemos arrancado esta mañana, a las 11 de la mañana, con la primera conferencia, con más de 200 participantes. Y ha venido creciendo durante todas estas charlas que tuvimos previa, y casualmente, y en este instante también, tenemos un buen marco de público. Para nosotros, como digo, es una alegría poder exponer todo lo que hace nuestra universidad y todo lo transversal que hace la ingeniería a todas las carreras, a todas las profesiones que tiene nuestro país. Además, estamos cumpliendo el 150 aniversario, que no es un hecho menor. El próximo 6 de junio, nuestro país celebra los 150 años de la ingeniería argentina. Para ser breve y para cerrar, quiero hacer una mención especial a la embajadora de Serbia, quien nos ha puesto a disposición cuando dialogamos el año pasado, que teníamos la intención de denominarle la Semana de la Ingeniería, que lleve el nombre de este inventor americano, o sea, estadounidense, de origen serbio, nacido en Lika, y que ha hecho tanto por la humanidad. Y lo que estamos viendo hoy es una realidad que él pensó hace ya mucho tiempo atrás y que hoy se está concretando. Y que es una guía no tan solo en el área de la física, sino también en el área de la electromecánica y especialmente en la electricidad. Así que nos parecía muy grato, muy para nuestra institución, honrar la Semana de la Ingeniería con el nombre de este gran inventor, y que la embajada fue nexo para que el Museo Tesla esté presente en esta semana, que originalmente íbamos a tener un museo itinerante físico, y ahora es virtual, ya está colgado en la página de nuestra institución, y la gente ya lo está viendo, así que eso nos da muchísima también felicidad, que sepan aprovecharlo. Así que, señora embajadora, muchísimas gracias. Transmítale a la directora del Museo Tesla de Belgrado nuestro sincero y profundo agradecimiento. Bueno, con estas simples palabras quiero dar inicio a la Semana de la Ingeniería 2020. A todos ustedes, muy buenas noches y muchas gracias por estar presentes.
Se ha escuchado la palabra del señor decano de la Universidad Tecnológica Nacional, Facultad Regional Tucumán. Señoras, señores, hará uso de la palabra a continuación la señora embajadora de la República de Serbia en la República Argentina, doctora Hela Bakovic.
Estimado rector, estimado señor decano, ingeniero Fabián Soria, estimados profesores y estudiantes de la Universidad Tecnológica Nacional, estimados seguidores de este evento virtual. Para mí es un honor particular participar en este programa de la Semana de Ingeniería que lleva nombre de Nikola Tesla, genio de todos los tiempos, que nos han dejado una herencia enorme y descubrimientos que cambiaron el mundo. Con su mente brillante y su trabajo incansable, Tesla llegó muy lejos, siempre pensando siglos adelante. Hoy sería imposible imaginar el mundo sin sus descubrimientos. Por eso es tan importante conocer su obra genial y su vida, dedicada completamente a la ciencia. En una ocasión, una vez, han dicho, trabajo siempre ha sido un placer para mí, una fuente constante de disfrute. Todos mis esfuerzos fueron de amor. Pensando un siglo adelante, Tesla nos también dejó algunas palabras que son muy actuales hoy en día. Por eso deberíamos estudiar su obra completa más profundo. Espero que esta muestra nos da un impulso para pensar sobre nuestro futuro mejor y más humano. Por esta ocasión, la Embajada de Serbia y el Museo de Nikola Tesla de Belgrado presentan una muestra de 20 paneles sobre la energía hidroeléctrica y papel de Tesla en este ámbito. Otra parte del programa es disertación de Dr. Branimir Jovanović sobre la obra y personalidad de Tesla, uno de los mejores expertos vivos sobre Tesla y su obra. En este momento quiero, de mi manera, inaugurar la muestra tocando un botón de bobina de Tesla, produciendo luz, energía y luz. Muchas gracias a todos y mucha suerte. Les saludo desde Buenos Aires.
Ha sido la palabra de la señora embajadora de la República de Serbia en la Argentina, doctora Hela Bakovic. Queda a partir de este instante abierta la exposición en la página de nuestra facultad sobre Nikola Tesla. A continuación los invitamos a disfrutar del video documental sobre el inventor Nikola Tesla a cargo del doctor Branimir Jovanović.
Dear colleagues, professors, students and participants of Tucuman Engineering Week organized under the name of Nikola Tesla. I'm so glad that I can join you and I have this opportunity to address to you on this occasion and to tell you a few words about Nikola Tesla, his life and his work. I am researching Tesla documentation for more than 4 decades, which I spent mostly in the Nikola Tesla Museum. And I would like to tell you that after Tesla died in 1943 in New York City, his whole heritage was transferred to Belgrade, where the museum is organized. The collection we have now in our museum is consists of more than 200,000 original documents. This is one of the largest and most important scientific legacy in the world, which is under the protection of UNESCO. So if you research for 40 years someone's legacy, it's very hard to give half an hour presentation of the results, but anyway, I will try to do so. So this is why I have prepared one small presentation, which I would like to share with you. Before I start it, just to tell you, please have in mind that I am recording this video at my home, so if there is some mistakes or imperfection, have it in mind. Okay, so Tesla was not only the scientist, he was a philosopher, he was actually the person, you know, he was the man in the full sense of that word, you know. So half of my presentation will be dedicated to Tesla scientific results and half presentation will be dedicated to some very important Tesla's thoughts about the destiny of our civilization and the impact of the technology to the global society. So let's start, and you will have a chance later during this week to see the virtual exhibition and a movie prepared by Nikola Tesla Museum and the Serbian Embassy. So I won't give you here too much details about Tesla's early life, just to tell you that he was born in 1856. He studied in Graz and in Prague, in one of the best universities in Graz Polytechnic, but he interrupted his studies and he started to work first in Budapest, then in Paris. He worked for Edison companies first, but in 1882 he discovered how rotating magnetic field can be produced by alternating currents. For that time, and for our time also, this was the revolutionary invention, revolutionary discovery, because it enabled Tesla to made his famous induction motor, and not only this, but actually the whole system of producing, transmitting, and using alternating currents. All this he patented in the United States during the 1887, 1888, and 1889. So here, this picture at the screen, you can see Tesla first induction motor. The copy of this we have at our museum, and also part of the patent, one of the 36 patents, famous Tesla's patents from the polyphase system. Tesla's greatest success, if we are talking about the polyphase system, actually was Niagara Falls project. In United States, several very large companies, very important companies, was organized one competition how power of Niagara Falls can be used. And there were many projects. Finally, Tesla and Westinghouse won this project. And here you can see several pictures with Niagara Falls, with a group of people, group of financiers. This man here is John Pierpont Morgan, famous financier. And here is one very important plate. Copy of this plate is also in our museum. Here is this plate says actually that the whole system was built according to 9 of Tesla's patents, 2 of Schmidt, 1 of Kennedy, and 1 of Stanley. So Tesla was not the only one who actually built this system, but he gave some 70 to 80% of the system. And this was one of his first big success. Just to tell you one more thing before I start to talk about the next important invention, that in order to understand the importance of Tesla's polyphase system, just to tell you that Tesla said sometimes about 1910 that during the lifetime of his patents, and the patents in the United States last 18 years, $8 billion of that money at that time was invested into the industry based on his patents. If you recalculate, you can get the sum of maybe some $250 billion which one invested in the system. So you can understand that if we say that Tesla was one of the very important figures in scientists and inventors in the history of electrification, not only of America but of the world too, you can understand that we are saying that. So, besides the Tesla polyphase system, Tesla had several other important patents which have this potential to have the global impact. Tesla had, during his life, Tesla had more than 300 patents. 330 patents are discovered so far. Half of these patents was patented in the United States, and half in all countries abroad. I believe that there is one patent in Argentina too. And but not all the patents had the same importance. For example, patents from the polyphase system was very important, but also there were 2 other groups of patents. One was related to the wireless transmission of signals. So Tesla was the inventor of the so-called system for transmitting and receiving wireless signals, and he made the patents of so-called 4-tuned circuit system. This patent this invention made in as early as in 1893 was actually the base for discovery of later on radio and all the radio technology. And Tesla had the possibility to make a business success based on this patent group of these patents at that time, but he wanted to do something more important. So he said, let's try to wirelessly transmit not only signals but the energy too. This is very ambitious task and project. As you know, wireless energy can be transmitted today only on very small distances. transmission of the electrical power cannot be achieved according to the today's science on large distances. But Tesla claimed that he had actually this solution, and in 1899 he went to Colorado Springs, built a small laboratory. In this slide you can see the scene for inside of this laboratory, where he built his biggest coil of 12 million volts and started experiments. And he claimed that in the night between 3rd and 4th July, actually he discovered stationary waves inside of the planet Earth. What does it mean? It is very complicated to explain you in a short lecture, but let me tell you, let me use Tesla's words. He claimed that he has a mechanism to transmit wirelessly energy from one point of the Earth to another, and that Earth itself is filled with electricity in a similar way as a rubber ball is filled with a fluid. So he compared, he said, that my oscillator is a kind of a pump which will pump the impulses through this fluid in a resonant wave. This is very simple, very simple analogy. I don't want to go into details, and there are a lot of people, scientists, who believe that there is nothing inside of this invention, but also there are scientists today who believe that Tesla was right. You have these scientists in the United States, you have in Russia and many other countries. So many scientific teams today try to understand what Tesla actually achieved and what was the result of his experiments. But this is not point of my lecture, my presentation. What I want to tell you that Tesla actually, when he believed that he has this invention, he came back from Colorado Springs to New York City and wrote one article which he named "Problem of Increasing Human Energy." It was a technological and philosophical tractate, actually, essay, in which Tesla tried to explain in his own word how he saw the future of our civilization. So what he saw actually at that time, he saw that technology will impact society in an unbelievable way, and he understood that very soon people all over the world will be interconnected through the wireless messages, wireless signals, and wireless knowledge, and also that if there is a possibility to wirelessly transmit energy too, then there is no reason for people to accumulate into the big cities. People can disperse, can be settled all over the earth, and there will be huge possibilities for prosperity of humankind. What happened actually, Tesla approach to John Pierpont Morgan, one of the most important figures not only in the economy and the business of United States at the turn of 19th and 20th century, but also one of the most important figures in the history of business and history of economy. It is claimed that Morgan controlled 500 directorship places in 300 most powerful American companies at that time. So you can imagine how powerful was this person, and Tesla approached to him and asked him financial support. Morgan was not so aware of Tesla's success, but he gave him the money Tesla wanted. And Tesla wanted very modest $150,000 at that time. If you recalculate, it is about $3 million of today's money. Tesla said, it is enough for me to start. Then he was convinced, if he made a success, that Morgan will finance more his project. And Tesla started to build his famous Wardenclyffe Tower project This is the antenna of Tesla World Wireless System, which actually served as the antenna for radio communication, but also should serve for the wirelessly transmission of energy. You see the laboratory, and inside of the laboratory some parts, you know. But it happened at that time that two things actually somehow destroyed Tesla's project. One is that Marconi transmitted signals from the America to Europe, so he made transatlantic radio signal actually, and there were the panic on the market, which is produced by Morgan himself, and the value of money Morgan gave to Tesla was lower than Tesla expected. So Tesla had to interrupt his project and to ask for more money from Morgan. At that time, Morgan was thinking that maybe Marconi has more simple system for transmitting radio signals, and he didn't want to actually to finance any more Tesla. So Tesla was very desperate about this, and his antenna was destroyed during the First World War. Tesla tried to earn money himself, having fantastic projects in mechanical engineering, having his invention on bladeless turbines and pumps, but he didn't have commercial success. He had many more projects. He was a genius, like Leonardo da Vinci. So he had a submarine project and airplane project and flying automobile project and making fountains for Tiffany and many other interesting projects and ideas, but no commercial success. So finally in 1929, during the big economical crisis in the United States, Tesla said, I have to admit that I cannot fulfill my projects, and it's time to somehow to close my laboratories and close my bureaus and to change my way of working. This is the time when Tesla started talking critically about our modern civilization. This is time of appearing what I called Tesla Doctrine. What is actually Tesla Doctrine? It is a set of ideas which actually try to explain the main reasons of, as Tesla believed, fail of developing of our civilization. Main ideas and main quotes which explain Tesla's doctrine can be shortly described in one interview which Tesla gave to a journalist about 1920. When he was asked what he thinks about the future of our civilization, Tesla said, "It is an incredible civilization. Nothing similar happened in the history, in the known history of humankind. But these inventions and these technologies which are helping us to live better in a sense of comfort and convenience of existence are not leading in a direction of a true culture and true education. On the contrary, technology and this movement of civilization is destructive of human ideals. If our civilization continues to move into this direction, it will be destroyed like many other great civilizations in the past." Main reasons of disappearing our civilization, Tesla saw in solving just one problem, social problem. He saw that our civilization is very materialistically oriented. So he said, in order to be successful, it must solve at least two more problems. These are the spiritual and moral too. There are some other very important ideas Tesla gave during his life, in the second part of his life, in his doctrine, regarding the what should be our focus in order to make a sustainable society. He said that actually we should focus on the habits, not on rising of a comfort of living. Because before he died in 1943, the rich part of our civilization had a very, very high standard of living. But the majority of inhabitants of our planet lived very moderately. What's happening now, 100 years later, actually we have one small group of people living with extraordinary big money, and the majority of people living with small money and with very, very modest money. So actually Tesla prediction fulfilled in a way. And also there are some other very interesting things Tesla said, like he see the community of the future as a community of the bees, where all the units of this community will work very, very hard in order to make some results. It will be very, very cold world, as Tesla said, and so on and so on. So, is there any message in Tesla doctrine? Is there any value in Tesla's words? Is there any value in Tesla philosophy, not only in his science, that we can use today? I believe that we have the values in the philosophy, in the messages of great people from the past, not only from Tesla, but from other great people in the past. And it is very, very important that sometimes, from time to time, we stand, we try to calm down, we try to understand what's going up with us. And I believe that actually we experience one of these moments in our very, very fast way of living in a modern civilization. We are now experienced this COVID pandemic situation, which all of us were forced to be in some kind of isolation. And it is very good in some way that we can maybe ask ourselves, where are we going, and is there anything we can change? Is there anything we can do as a global society in order to improve our global situation? First thing we should do is to raise our awareness and consciousness about the problem we have. Another way is to use the technology we have now to interconnect with other people who think the same and try to build actually society according to the measure of humans, not according to a measure of small group of rich people and according to the measure of artificial intelligence, or according to a measure of liberal or whatever groups that want to somehow to control the destiny of this world. So it is very encouraging that there are a lot of people who is thinking about our situation, a lot of people who understood what's happening to us, a lot of people who understood that we, as early as in 1980s, actually try to spend more than this our planet Earth can sustain, and that we are living unsustainably from that time. Also, there are a lot of groups, a lot of institutions, a lot of institutes all over the world that are now trying to give sustainable solution, and they're trying to interconnect between them. So what we can do, actually, we can continue to work in this direction. What I want to tell you that Tesla used to say, I would like to turn your attention, this very important saying, that there is a two group of scientists in his times, and we can say today, the clear thinker and deep thinker. What is the difference between the clear thinker and deep thinker? Tesla said the scientists of all times were the clear thinkers, and the modern scientists are deep thinkers. Unfortunately, the system of education, the system of organizing scientific community is that all of us are specialists, specialized in various areas of science, and we are trained to dig actually in the tremendous quantity of knowledge which surround us, and to try to pull up on the surface of interest of other colleagues, of business people, new truths which will be useful for society in general. These are the diggers, these are the deep thinkers. Clear thinkers are people like Tesla, people who try to climb onto the mountains of the knowledge, who try to have the perspective of actually whole situation of what we can say not only of the problem of science, but the generally problem of culture. Because, you know, culture is everything what surrounds us, but below the culture, below what is visible, there is one invisible layer of values. And below of the system of values, there is another invisible value of principles which we use to build our system of values, and with this system of values to build our culture. It is very important on what kind of principles we based our views. So there are scientists, historians like Yuval Noah Harari, who believes that people will be hacked into the future, that the basic principles on which we based our system of values and the cultures will be radically changed, and actually even today they are changed, and we should be very careful about how we are transmitting, how we are transferring our power into the hands of some other people, or to artificial intelligence or whatever, you know. So the point of my lecture is actually Tesla was a great man, he was a great scientist, great inventor, he was the inspiration for the many young people, but also I would like to turn your attention that he was a philosopher, he was a thinker, he was a clear thinker and deep thinker in the same time, very unusual situation, yes, and in that sense Tesla can be inspiration for young people of today. We can try to raise our awareness and consciousness about the main problems of today living and today modern society in order to help them. There is one more thing I would like to say at the end before I thank you for your attention, and that is this civilization is spending its resources very, very fast, but one of the most important resources is the time. So we are spending time. We do not have a time anymore because changes started, irreversible changes already have started, and time is what we actually need, is the most important resource. So think about it. Thank you very much for your attention, and I wish you good luck and good next week in Tucumán. Thank you very much.
Hemos compartido el video documental sobre el inventor Nikola Tesla, que está dedicado a la Semana de Ingeniería, con el que estuvo a cargo del doctor Vladimir Kovanov. Señor decano,
señor rector de la Universidad Tecnológica, Héctor Ayaza, doctora Iela, embajadora de Serbia, invitados especiales, público en general. Me siento muy emocionado a hacer el cierre de esta jornada. Una vez más, agradecerle a nuestros acompañantes, al rector y a la embajadora,
en esta apertura de la Semana de la Ingeniería 2020 y, como lo mencioné hace rato, con mucho esfuerzo lo estamos llevando adelante y aprendiendo de esta nueva herramienta tecnológica que es para el bien no tan solo de nuestra regional Tucumán, sino para el buen uso y la oportunidad que tiene toda la UTN para llevar adelante. Así que, una vez más, queda formalmente inaugurada esta Semana 2020 Nikola Tesla.